Away to Cambridge on Saturday, it doesn't come much tougher than the league leaders away from home, does it?
Oh, but a game you got to relish, a game you got to look forward to. No bigger challenge in the league at the moment than, like you just said there, the league leaders. But a game which we've got to attack. A game which might suit us on the way they play, the style of football they play. Hopefully, be a good spectacle in relation to League Two football. I think anyone who's watched us recently and watched the recent games will testify they've not been the best games to watch because of the circumstances involved in that. So hopefully this weekend there's more space on the pitch. There's better attacking players on that pitch in both teams. But the league leaders, and they're there for a reason, but certainly there to be shot at as well.
I think the overriding question that has been the stumbling block for a lot of opposition managers against Cambridge this season has been how to stop Paul Mullin.
Look, a player in form, a player in goals. Full credit to the lad. He's had a fantastic season, but he's one of a number of good players. And let's be honest, he's got a lot of good players providing him those opportunities. Houlihan, Hiram, a player we know so well from his time at Exeter. And it's great to see some of those players doing really well. But the headlines shouldn't all be about what Cambridge can do to us this weekend. We know about their goal threat. We know about the amount of goals they've scored this season. But we've got some good attacking players as well. And hopefully they'll start coming to the fore this weekend.
And I think we can take confidence from the fact that early on in the season, we beat them 2-0 at home, which was their first defeat of the season. There's got to be something in that.
Yeah, it was quite a good game of football that day. They had a couple of chances before we went ahead in that game. And then the second goal really killed them off to a certain extent. Both teams playing good football. I remember the pitch was quick and slick, and all the attacking players could really move. Like I say, you're hoping for the same this weekend, and I do expect there to be chances. I expect it to be a more open game this weekend, which might suit us at times, might suit them at times. It will all be about who takes their moments, and obviously they've got players banging form and scoring the goals, and we want to try and recreate where we were early on in the season. And we know full well we need to score more goals than what we haven't done in the past few weeks, but also we need to create a few chances. But I think we'll have a better dynamic threat about us this weekend.
We saw when Randall Williams came on Monday that the game seemed to open up a lot more. Is he going to be a key player for us in the final 8 games?
Absolutely. It just stretches the play. Just pace, being able to run past an opposition player is something we've not really had in recent weeks. And that's why the games have been so poor to watch and so dull. We've not been able to move players around with the ball and beat players with the ball. So it becomes a bit of a stalemate, and you're looking at moments of quality or mistakes from the opposition. And that really hasn't happened for ourselves. So the introduction of Randall Williams will create more space on that football pitch. I can guarantee you that just by the way he plays. You saw that from that 45 cameo against Mansfield. But, hopefully that helps out other players. Gives more space for Matt Jay, Josh Key, possibly Jake Caprice, and Robbie Wilmot, Jack Sparks, whoever plays on the other side, and maybe frees up our midfield. But you still got to get the ball in certain areas of the pitch, close to the opposition goal, and then it's all about taking those moments and taking those chances. But we're certainly pleased to have a player like Randall Williams back in the squad.
If not Saturday, perhaps Tuesday. Is he ready for 90 minutes?
I hope so. Maybe not Saturday, like you just touched upon. It's not a complicated injury, but it's a difficult one in terms of stress fracture. Last thing you want is to re-injure that injury and that leg. So we've got to be mindful where Randall Williams is at in terms of his body. And 90 minutes might be too soon, even Saturday and Tuesday. But to have him available to affect the game amount of time is vitally important. Whether it's off the bench or in a starting position, just someone who can do something different to what we've had in previous weeks. And it can't all be about him, but I can guarantee he'll have a positive influence when we attack.
And injury-wise, how are we looking for the running?
Obviously got a few bumps and bruises, a few strains. Alex Hartridge isn't available. Alex Fisher isn't available. Sam Stubbs still not available. Johnny Maxted still not available. NJ had a tight hamstring over the weekend, but got through the game on Monday. Jake Taylor didn't start the game Friday, but got through the game on Monday. So you can just see it. And obviously Joe Randall with his injury we all know about. So you can see where the group are at. We're at a little bit of a low physically and mentally. And we're trying and we're under pressure to perform and to execute. But you need all your energy levels there. You need all your best players there as well to help out the squad who are doing everything they possibly can. Unfortunately, we've not got the strongest group at the moment possible, but we should be getting stronger in the next few weeks. And fingers crossed, like you just mentioned about Randall Williams, these players will come back in a better frame of mind and a bit of freshness within the group and better legs. And as the pitches start to firm up and hopefully become a little bit quicker again, then we'll see a slightly different style of football to what we've seen in the last few weeks.
As you mentioned in a previous interview, I understand Sam Stubbs has had a bit of a setback.
Yeah, look, he was training with us 2 weeks ago, but his knee swelled up after a session. So we had to find out what was causing that swelling. And he went back to see the surgeon. He's had another injection and he's on anti-inflammatories, and he's actually in a knee brace at the moment just to try and calm the knee down. Structurally, there seems to be no problem with the knee joint, but we're trying to find out what's causing that swelling. Realistically, it puts him back another couple of weeks, and then, a couple of weeks back from now, more than likely he won't feature again this season. So he's preparing for what's next, which, like I say, realistically is going to be next season. But I said on a previous interview as well, how defensively we've been quite strong in recent weeks, if not the last month or so. The likes of Pierce, Sweeney, Tom Parks at the weekend, and obviously Rory and Alex before that. So you're looking at partnerships at the back end of the pitch, and they'll have their work cut out this weekend. You mentioned before about the goals Cambridge got in their team. But you do want all your best players available. Unfortunately, we're not quite there at the moment.